I would hope that like after the end of the EEU DPC, there is a minor patch. Like nerf the busted stuff so that people are forced to come up with something else. You know, like DP, Storm, uh, Coddle, I guess, are the big three in Tiny that need to be targeted. Other than that, nothing else major needs to be changed.
I just have to ask a question. Were you solely responsible for all the side screens that were going on in EU DPC?
Side screen?
Yeah, you know, the second cameras that
Oh,
were
that was
popping up?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That was all me.
Cool. Thank you, mate. I very much appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Neff, for doing that, by the way. You did a great job. Like I was the panel in chat, you know? I was just providing all these little
Tidbits.
tidbits of information. Yeah. Grimstroke as well. Very new, very, very exciting. Hero coming through. Give me an at. I mean, this is maybe not against the Grimstroke, but some kind of dispel. You have to against 3 potential stuns. Especially with the Medusa, right? All you need to do is get her out of the laning stage.
Shaman Abba?
Shaman's something a little different at least. It's a good setup for the lane, right? Just shackle into a spear. They don't have any defense.
I like an Abaddon, something like that. Like you said, I think it's MY are pretty reliant on the jump in, chain control, burst, go from there. I think Abaddon just disrupts that. You can even consider like a Shadow Demon if you want to go down that route. Go all the shadows.
I love Shadow Demon.
Shadow I was going to say Shadow Shaman, but then
that would have got one.
Yeah, they already got one. They can't get 2. They need the other version of him.
The Arcward Shadow Shaman. I just want to see more Omni Knight, man. It is a really good hero in the right hands. Probably not this game, to be honest, with a Medusa. It needs to be paired with a strength hero. So, you know, your Tinies, your Chaos Knights, your Svens, your Life Stealers. Even honestly with a Death Prophet or a Lesh, it's really good. Just toss the Heavenly Grace onto him and go. But you might be able to salvage some things. Okay, it's something, right? You disrupt a lot of this combos, right? As long as you've got the Blink Dagger on the Treant Protector, make sure you're not getting caught in the initial stuns, and then just blink Overgrowth. Their team fight is suddenly ruined, and you've got good turnaround potential with the Arena and the Stone Gaze.
10 seconds.
Is there a draw if you're favoring at the moment? Because to me, this seems pretty even again.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team.
I mean, they still don't have something that is going to be able to dispel this, right? If you find the Treant Protector, what do you do to be able to turn around this team fight? Or you find the Mars and burst him down super early on. Because the Medusa probably needs to pop the Stone Gaze to run after that point, right? And then everything that you've got is on a pretty low cooldown, or basically non-existent. I don't think you need to use the Epicenter to kill something like the Mars. All you need is the Blink Dagger, right?
Remaining.
Inkswell onto the Sand King, Blink Stun, the Inkswell pops, you follow in with a Sharpshooter, Tiny comes in. It feels like they've just got amazing pick off an MY, and they don't even have bad team fight either, right?
Yeah, I think that's a big advantage for MY, where you're not reliant on cooldowns, whereas Motivate kind of are. Arena, Stone Gaze, Overgrowth.
10 seconds.
So probably looking for a Gacha Boy hero that can not be as cooldown dependent to kind of pick up the pace. You could also consider something like an Invoker just to amplify the Dusa. Give her Alacrity, go cost Wex, be a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Invoker themselves, right? Still against the Medusa, EMP, very good. And amplifying up the Tiny is always going to be very effective. Motivate have first choice, though. So they're going to be able to come to an understanding of what's actually going to be good for them. You've got multiple heroes that are good at rotating through to that mid lane. Probably Tiny still needs to be babysat a bit more than the Sand King. I mean, a Medusa Treant Protector is not a kill lane, so you're probably going to be able to leave the Sand King on his own at level 4 and then make a lot of those rotations. So,
do you think the Timber Ban is kind of showing that they might go for like a strength position too for Gacha Boy?
No, I think it's just good in general to be able to burst through the mana shield pretty quickly on the Medusa. Also against a tree and protector, right? You want to prevent the ability to just cut away a ton of trees.
They are taking all their time for
They are
MY.
long ass time. Yeah.
Or
I'm sure it's probably based around this Invoker decision, right? Like, are Motivate.Trust going to pick the Invoker if we don't ban it? I think is the main decision that they're
team
mulling
pick.
over. They go the Ember Spirit instead. Just
Radiant
something that,
team pick.
Storm Spirit. I mean, you got to Invoker, right?
Yeah.
EMP, very effective in the lane, very vulnerable to being ganked before he's level 6. Amp up the Tiny, drain the Deucer.
They might lean on.
Choose your
I
I-
mean,
hero.
it's these stuns, man. These stuns on MY. It's just a very, very easy game of Dota to play on MY. But honestly, I thought they had a pretty easy game to play last time around and they weren't able to execute it. So I'm not putting it past Motivate.Trust to be able to come back into this. This is all on the back of, can MY play this draft the way that it's meant to be played? Group up around the Blink Dagger timings that you get on both Seri and BB. You know that they're not going to be getting any towers super early on. It's almost entirely around this Shadow Shaman and the Catapult waves. So you don't need to go like, a Hood of Defiance on Seri or anything like that. It's all about just find them, burst them with Blink Dagger, and create space for the Tiny to be able to farm and carry the game for you.
So if MY aren't able to convert with kills and pushing the tempo when they get the blink daggers, do you feel like their lineup might kind of lose some steam?
Yeah, I mean the Medusa's a good matchup into the Tiny, right? You've also got the Shadow Shaman, who is pretty effective at being able to take Roshan, which of course is going to be incredibly effective whenever you've got a Storm Spirit lineup. And again, like I said, Treant Protector, Blink Overgrowth, going to be very key if Bumbu is able to pick that one up for not necessarily being that dispel for the team fights, but providing a lot of counter initiation to allow the setup for someone like the Mars to come in and have a true impact.
All right. Well, do you feel like Motivate have what it takes to be able to knock out the MY Academy team, or are we going to a game 3?
Purely based on the drafts, I want to say MY. Based on what we just saw in the previous game, where MY weren't able to take advantage
Prepare
of
for
that,
battle.
I'm going to say Motivate. So I have a coin on me. Do a bit of a coin flip here.
Do you want me to flip my phone?
No.
Sure. That's oh, my phone
All right,
doesn't.
heads or tails?
Schmails.
Schmails it is. Schmails is Motivate, heads is MY. It is Schmails.
All right. Top of my phone or bottom?
Just hurl it into the wall.
Okay. Do you hear that or no?
I heard a. Do you have like padded walls or something? Like the full noise cancelling or.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, very fancy.
Well, see,
30
we got
seconds
super
to
lucky. I built a little studio for
Is it
myself.
a shed or a granny flat? Like,
It's
what's
a
the...
it's a shed. It's a shed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just trying to emulate MLP every step of the way, aren't you? You get your
I
shed. You get your shed.
I am, but my shed's not shit and it's not leaking. So, sorry, Mike.
Infested.
Yeah, I don't have a.
Trees constantly falling down on the power lines.
Yeah, no, my shed's kind of chilling. I don't know. About, his is looking a little bit dire. Mine's alright. But yeah, we were building the studio out as Seri might have to borrow. No, it's alright. And I needed soundproofing. I was gonna buy some. Shit's expensive. I didn't want the egg foam because it kind of looks, for me, I don't like the look of it. And we were driving past a acoustic place and they were getting rid of soundproofing stuff, and it's perfect. It's just black foam. It's no like, again, you know what the egg carton thing looks
Like an
like,
egg
right?
carton, basically.
Yeah. And I didn't like that. Like, I didn't kind of want any design. I thought it was just a bit too weird, and it's just literally just black. It's just a wall. Just looks like a wall, and it's nice.
Like your soul.
I have a beautiful white soul. Thank you very much.
I gotta be white though.
White is hot, well, because black is no. Black heart.
The amount of times you've cheated on me, you can't take a moral high ground for anything.
Hang on a second, dude. No way. Okay. With what's coming up, you gotta keep your mouth shut, I feel like.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, in the end, we got 2 for 2 with the bounties. Motivate MY, tying that one up a piece. I do like how MY have started up well with top. Just getting rid of all the trees. It's just it's kind of awkward because Stylus also wants to use the trees as well, but this really takes away what Boom Booey can do, and they are in this is a bad spot for Motivate at the moment. They've completely lost creep equilibrium.
Yep. Honestly, I kind of don't even want to see the Sand King go into the Caustic finale, right?
Same.
Like, you just want to make sure that you're farming. Stylus is doing a great job at zoning out. Boom Booey can do nothing if there's no trees here to be able to play off of. And Stylus, he's going to make a run around just to continue the block onto this small camp, making sure that the equilibrium stays down here for MY. And he'll make it. So the creep wave blocked up, straight back to harassing the tree and protector.
With our other side lane, Jay back onto the tiny. And
Top lane.
Uh-oh. Toy is in a lot of trouble. No stick charges to play with, but make it back to the safety thanks to Boom Booey kind of acting as the bodyguard. Let's take a look at some of the other lanes. So how's mid setting up? It's Gacha Boy favored at the moment. Should be okay for the Storm, even though the Dragonite does have a higher right-click advantage. Gacha Boy can always utilize the Remnants and the Overload, and of course it is Gacha Boy's, you'd say, his best hero over the Ember? I'd say so.
It's up there. His Conker's pretty good too.
His Conker's good, but Gacha Boy Storm Spirit, it's a fearless Storm Spirit. Do you reckon he goes back to fearless as well? Like, I'm sorry, Gacha Boy.
so.
I'm a big fan. I like the name. I don't like this name, but also I'm a little bit superstitious and motivates.
Why change what you were successful with?
Yes, that is where I'm leading. Motivates performance when they change their names.
Sweet.
Coincidence?
So that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you superstitious?
A little bit. I'm like, if I do something, like,
Radiant structures are
I always need to
fortified.
make sure I equal out whatever I'm doing, like with my left side of my body and my right, if that makes sense. Is that
Do you have an
superstition?
example?
Or is that like OCD?
That could
Like-
well could be
I don't know.
OCD. Do you have an example though? What do you mean? So like say if you're like I don't know, what?
Like,
Okay.
like if I'm putting on a shoe and I'm like tapping it on the ground to make sure that it's on properly, I need to tap the exact same number of times with my other foot on the ground, even though I don't need to do it.
I think superstitious is more doing something to set yourself up for particular
Like throwing
activity.
salt over your shoulder and all that sort of
Sure,
stuff.
yeah,
Or like
yeah, yeah.
wearing lucky underwear and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and then of course there are also superstitions like a black cat or walking under a ladder, but I think that's a different side of superstition where
The support battle going on here between Lionax and Tigger. I wonder if we're actually going to get a connection through. Doesn't seem like it, but you would assume a Shadow Shaman with the boots of speed is going to be able to get the better end. I really like the change to the shackles, actually making Shadow Shaman a little bit stronger, just providing that heal as well for it all. It means that you can like stand, not necessarily within a full creep wave, but you can tank up a melee creep in a really risky scenario and still look to get the decent end of the trade. Tigger going for stacks on stacks on stacks. Very
Pog on
nicely done,
pog.
building it up for both the Storm Spirit and the Medusa. And it's not like they have amazing heroes to be able to take these early on, other than maybe the Sand King for the hard camp. Speaking of Sand King, top lane Toy. He's getting gone on a little bit here, but the living armor should allow him to survive.
some stick charges if you need it as well from Toy. As he's sitting at the moment. Bottom of the cores in regards to the last hits, but like you said, they do have plenty of stacks for Toy to be able to catch up on once he falls back into the jungle. Of course, this is a die-up Medusa as well, so hang on, what's going on mid, BB? Early level 6, gonna have Lion Axe actually rotating Gacha, or maybe the shackles, it doesn't matter. Just it doesn't get out of range of the big AoE from the Inkswell, and BB finds our first blood. Wait, what's the cut?
So what we're saying is,
Did you
yeah,
see?
he just has a mind of his own. Yeah, he's like, I got this, guys. The tower is mine. Oh, poor Cardi. R.I.P.
I'd be molding if I'm BB. Cause that's so much damage on a tower if you have the Cardi and the Elder Dragon form. At least he gets a kill to take out his anger unless all the creeps deny him.
Yes.
Oh,
Tactical
no.
Nature's Grasp, aggroing the creeps onto him.
That's okay, dude. I'd be molding even more if I'm BB. So you lost the catapult, you wasted your Elder Dragon form, you didn't get the kill on the Tree Protector. Yes, you got first blood, but we're kind of avoiding that. Oh, wait. Storm's TP is on cooldown as well, so Gachaboy's making the... It'd be walk a shame if he died twice, but it's not the fun walk. The walk of...
And what we're saying is if he was MTG fearless, he wouldn't have died. He wouldn't have given up that first blood as well.
Exactly. And if it was MTG Mastros and Boom Bell, for a second I was forgetting.
It is 10-0 as well.
That's right.
Dire are scanning.
Ever since Jackie changed his name to Toy as well, they've just looked very different.
So who was Gacha Boy? He might be in trouble. Sari's got the epicenter already at level 6, and well, this is something you were mentioning: stuns on stuns on stuns, and plenty of damage at the early stages as MY. It's a much better start to this game too.
Yep, they're doing what they need to, right? That those frequent plays around the area. They knew that the Storm Spirit was going to the jungle because they previously had that Observer. What it was dewarded, but they knew the general position they were looking to play around in. And yeah, it's very easy to get those initial pickoffs onto someone like the Storm Spirit. It's going to get even easier once Seri, he's going the right sort of build, not wanting to go for that, oh, I'm going to build a Hood of Defiance, so I'm not dying.
Gacha Boy? Well, no, he's going to have to deal with the Phantom's Embrace, but Lion Axe cancels the shackles and gives BB a little bit of breathing room, but Mastros wants to step in. The first arena of the game is a success, and now Stylus has put himself in a position that he cannot escape from as Motivate. Well, they will hit back and even up the kill count.
Was that just contesting the Arcane Rune? It would have had to be, right? I just don't see a reason for the DK to be there otherwise. It's going to slow down his timing on his Blink Dagger a little bit. So Sand King will get his in about 700 or so gold. Any stacks for him? Okay, looks like there is one. It's Boom Bui actually looks to block up the Ancient Camp. Should have a pretty decent idea that it is blocked. So let's see if Stylist is quick enough on the D ward. Oh. They'll try for it first, but at least one of the bits of information are going to be revealed. Actually, they won't, because I think he'll feel like he was just a little bit slow on the stack as well there. Nope, not going to catch. I'm sorry, my man.
Sari's getting some juicy stacks there for himself, so Blink Dagger's going to come at a rapid rate for an offlane Sand King, second in net worth, and Sari's having a very, very good time.
Like I said, this top lane is not a kill lane for Motivate.Trust, right? Medusa, Treant can't do much of anything. It's enough just to keep him alive for the very start of the game, and they were able to build up some stacks for him as well, so it's not a total loss, but yeah, you just have to consider what else you're giving up in terms of tempo for the game, because you know that Sand King is going to have a great time, even giving him over these ancient stacks to make sure you get that nice and early Blink Dagger and hopefully catch Motivate.Trust by surprise.
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't a kill lane top, but still the Deucer got a lot out of it. Because I thought he was going to be under the pump a little bit, especially with the early start that Sand King, Hoodoo, and Cag, they were playing the lane very well, but the Medusa left the lane, and you see how she's been positioning. Third in net worth, very close to the Sand King and the Dragon Knight, and this is still, I think, he's already got Dragonlance, so Toy can really tank the Ancient stack whenever he wants, and I actually think you have to take it pretty soon, because MY are probably going to think about invading the triangle.
And this is the exact play that they need to make, right? Instant smoke coming out from Seri and Lionax. That's all they really need to be able to get a lot of these kills, right? The Epicenter plus the Inkswell is going to be enough to take out anyone. Even the Medusa, honestly, at this stage. Just the 1 point in the Mana Shield. Nothing in Stone Gaze just yet. They're looking to play around that ward. Very nicely done.
Deuce's gonna got a couple of one charges, and again, no one is trying to come help out Toy because they're killing off Jay across the map. Serpent Ward's committed. And without Arena as well, so maybe they can actually defend mid. See from Motivate.
The living armor, of course, makes it a lot easier to do so. Did they use the living armor onto the Medusa? I didn't see it. Maybe they were popping it onto someone else at the time.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They can definitely defend this.
Cardi's going to survive it.
Aggressive position for the Shaman. We saw Garchboy playing reactive and now Master also with the overgrowth combination lands on the 2 and MY. They feel like they can get a little bit more out of the lane, but they will be penalized for that as Garcha adds it up to a 3-for-1. Almost getting the deny off, but yeah, like you said, beautiful overgrowth. Mastros, a really nice arena. They might smoke because Mastros has the blink already completed. This Mars is giga farmed.
He's playing a really good game on Massa. And well, they're looking to try and follow the courier, perhaps, on the way through, just to see where the Grimstroke might be looking at TP to, but they're going to abandon, I would assume, their attempts to try and defend this mid tower. Of course, not having a Treant Protector to play around. So that Toy able to take this tower pretty damn quickly.
Alright, beautifully done from Motivate. They're the one that's able to find the first tower of the game, and against a Dragonite lineup. Something you would be expecting, but this game's going to continue to be fast-paced. 10 kills, 12 minutes in, but we have another blink from MY. This time it's going to be BB's Dragonite. It has it, so up the top they go.
I didn't even realize Breathe Fire's damage reduction lasts for 11 seconds.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Can they defend top?
Especially, yeah... I don't know, like previously you didn't have the Tiny hitting onto that tower, and I feel like that's such a big difference maker, especially now that he's got the Echo Saber. You have overgrowth in 3 seconds though, so
Arena.
you need to be a little careful.
Sorry,
like they're just placing themselves everywhere where there could be TPs coming in that aren't incredibly obvious.
There's one.
Almost here.
You need more. You need way more. Well, the Burrow's off the mark. That's key. But now the Storm Spirit chucked up in the air. The damage follow-up. Is it going to be there in time? Epicenter's doing stupid amount of damage as Motivate tried to stand their ground, but the defense, they didn't bring the numbers. They didn't execute it properly in MY. Oh, they're on board to be able to penalize for them for that as Mastros might be able to get the blink. Down to the south is in the lane though, so they know exactly where Mastros is positioned. How has the Shaman got a blink? Hang on a second. What? What's going on?
I mean,
Danog?
naked boots. That's what happens. They've had a pretty good early game on Motivate.Trust, to be fair, right? He's been taking a little bit more of that farm, using the Mass Serpent wards for that potential as well. The thing I liked about that from Toy, even though he didn't turn up, it really feels like you can't until you get the Manta style, just because the Breathe Fire is going to have such a huge impact against, you know, your damage output. He didn't just stay inside his jungle. That's my biggest pet peeve with carries that just see a full-on team fight happening and then just AFK without actually getting something on the map. He made sure to push the wave into the mid tower, forced TP rotations eventually back, took away a lot of the net worth on the map, and that means that the wave is now pushing into your own tier 1 tower, ready for
Gotcha Boy. Look at this. Stylus and Seri, super aggressive for them. They will not have the burst without the epicenter, but they are pushing they are pushing Gotcha Boy now to the fountain, so he's not going to be farming across the map, at least doing some economic damage. He will get a kill onto Style. Alright, well, they're even looking for Jake. Archibald, look at that, recognizing he doesn't need the damage for Stylish. Just trying to hunt down the Tiny to prevent him from escaping the area. It's a beautiful read from Gotcha Boy, and oh, Massa, nah, you gotta give the kill to him. I was just saying, man, you're a Gotcha Boy, they did well, even though they didn't really kill him. It puts him back in the fountain, economic damage, and oh, he's back out making plays, but Mastros takes the kill away.
We know their rivalry. We know that they're going to take kills away from each other at every opportunity. And this is what I was talking about as well with the Shaman, right? You've got a Storm Spirit in your lineup. You want to make sure that you're able to just make most use out of these Mass Serpent wards. It does so much against the Roshan. Those are the biggest sheep I've ever seen in my life.
This is huge for Gotcha Boy. Or do they give it to Toy? Looks like Toy is actually going to take it. Okay. Interesting. You often... Storm Spirit's probably the best Aegis carrier, but Toy's going to be the hero that's hitting objectives, so we'll see what they want to get out of this Aegis now. I like the
I
call.
guess he's going to hit that Manta-style timing right on the point here as well. What's he got? Has he got it sitting back at... Where's he sending that courier? Oh, making sure to send it all the way around. It's a great read as well, actually, because MY, they were just walking right on through the area, so it's going to be able to get to him without dying. I've seen plenty of couriers die with important things on them within the past 24 hours, and Toy not going to be a victim of the same.
What happened? Was that I didn't... Was that one of the Team Spirit games?
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Courier died with a rapier on him.
Oh, no. Oh, no. There we go.
Maximize the farming potential. Oh, they popped the smoke there. I think they know exactly what's happening. They
do.
did it underneath an observer ward.
Buoy.
Boomboy can't be first.
See if he can get the overgrowth off before he dies. A nice arena. Oh, that's perfect, but it might not matter. The Epicenter's doing a ridiculous amount of damage once again as Gacha Boy just gets away. Side the river, Tigger. He's got the help of Deuce's follow-up, but Seri's Burrows Track will claim the life, and we almost got 2 fights in itself once again, but BB's still stuck around. Gonna pin him up to a tree. And Toys should be able to close the distance and provide the damage they need. Dragonite's not an easy kill by any stretch, and maybe they don't even get it. Boom Boo is going to be forced to drop the overgrowth. They've got Gacha Boy TPing back to the area, and now with the magical damage, BB should be killed off. It was, again, another interesting fight. Like, Mastros, a beautiful arena where he kind of jumped behind Boom Booey in the stairway so that the rest of MY couldn't get inside the high ground to take the fight. But Seri's doing an incredible job with these epicenters.
Yeah, he's doing really well. And, I mean, it was really important that Boomboy brought back as well. It was only through the living armor that the Storm Spirit was even able to survive in that fight. He barely got away, so he didn't have that additional armor and the HP regen. Would have absolutely looked to go down. And wouldn't you know it, it is an arcane rune for the Storm Spirit. Already has the 3 Null Talismans and the Fairy's Trinket. Only 450 gold away from the BKB. You'd have to imagine that's really all that they're going to wait for on Motivate.Trust. They've still got 2.5 minutes on this Aegis. Medusa will be able to pick up another ultimate orb if she likes, and then just ball up, do everything that they just did all over again. Don't think you need to wait for the Mars's BKB.
I'm kind of worried, though, with the farm that Jay's been able to get. He is 4,000 gold behind the Deucer, and we know that Deucer has a pretty good matchup versus the Tiny once you get the Skadi, and Jay really... He still even needs BKB, of course, to be able to stand his ground through fights and actually do any damage and not get controlled. So it's going to be quite some time till I think we feel the real impact of this hero.
Yeah, and I just don't think it should have really been the case. You know, like they went for that first gank attempt onto the Storm Spirit and it worked out, right? They used their stuns on stuns on stuns to take out Gacha Boy. It worked out really well for them. That was actually just one of his 3 deaths this game. They went for that second attempt onto the mid tower. Didn't work out quite as well. And it feels like ever since then, they've just been really spooked sort of play. Like, they're going for it kind of now with BB hitting in onto the tower now that he's level 13. Going to get the assistance of the creeps while the Medusa's hitting that bottom tower. Actually, the Serpent's wards as well. But I don't know, like I was saying during the draft, right, that they are very cooldown reliant on Motivate.Trust. So the fact that they just didn't immediately look to group up and make a few more attempts when they knew Overgrowth was on cooldown, for example, it's a little bit odd. Even K to deny.
Do you make a play if you're Motivate with the remaining of the Aegis? Because I was going to say you had Arcane, but it looks like it's been popped from the Storm Spirit.
I think you can. I mean, you've got the BKB on the Storm as well, which is the thing that I would really be looking to make a play around, but might just be a farming Aegis. Very close to being able to pick up the Skadi, only about 1,600 or so gold away. The key item that I was talking about for the Treant Protector as well, Overgrowth Blink, only about 100 or so gold, so won't be able to make use of the second life, but honestly, Toy's getting to the point where he might not even die the first time.
I have all this team fight that's going to be difficult for MY to deal with, but if anyone can do it, it can be Seri with the Sand King. He's got second point in the epicenter, has this Aghanim Shard as well, so the magical damage is something that they have to fear or motivate, but do have this BKB on Gacha Boy, so if he can get it off before the stuns... That's the question, though, because there are a lot. Every single hero from MY has some form of control.
For me, it's really just going to be on Bumbui's positioning here. Can't be the first one caught out in a lot of these engagements. You just bought back previously as well, and you can see that that's exactly where MY want to make the plays around. They pop the Inkswell onto BB, but he wasn't able to dive in. Just didn't have the information quite necessarily on the remaining heroes on Motivate.Trust's lineup.
They're going. Look at this. Gotcha,
Oh,
boys.
nice blink. Seri able to get out of the arena on the top side. Immediate blink out.
They'll lose their high ground ward that BB was starting to move to the area to protect. Gotcha boy in and out. They're going to try and target the Dragon Knight as BB push further away from the team. Lion actually is venturing up with a high ground, but I don't think the Soulbind really does anything to protect BB, so he'll be killed off along with him. Masteros got blink in 3, but is hesitant to go into the triangle.
Where were the boys? That's what I want to know. Everyone just kind of abandoned BB up there on the high ground. Maybe he just made a call that the rest of his team didn't agree with, but even once he was up there, didn't get the immediate stun onto the Treant Protector and tried to take him down.
Dude, Toy has the grow bow again.
Oh,
yeah,
you
cool.
love it.
Yeah, and Gacha Boy is Fairy's Trinket as well. Of course, I know that was tier 1, but yeah. So, kind of the best 2 neutral items you could really get at this stage of the game for both the Storm and the Medusa as the tier 2 tower. Going to be claimed once again with the Skadi timing. So, Motivate.Trust, beautifully done. 6,000 net worth lead, and they've got a big lead at this stage, and we're still waiting to see for the BKBs on MY. That's... Which, do the BKBs even really do much now? Because you've got Skadi and you've got Overgrowth.
On MY, no, not really. I mean, it really feels like they needed to make so much more happen in the early game. Like we said at the start, Medusa beats Tiny late game, and well, Tiny hasn't really been doing all that much so far. Only been involved in 2 kills in 23 minutes of play. That is definitely not how you want to play it, especially if you're going for this Shadowblade build. I mean, he's still a long way away from something like a BKB or a Blink Dagger that enables him to take a team fight. So it really does feel like all that Motivate.Trust are going to do is use this remaining 30 seconds to 3 minutes or so to clear out all the outer towers. Make sure you pick up your level 20 or so on Toy. What's he got coming out to him? Has he got... Oh, a Chrysalis. Isn't that nice?
Yay, more items. Happens on Medusa. You get 1 item, all of a sudden it just starts to go into the next and the next and the next. There's Motivate. Key spot for them to take a fight. Beautiful choke point where they can use all of these big ultimates to perfection. This Gacha Boy hunting the tree line is going to be perfect though, but there will be no one to protect Stylus, and even uses the BKB just to secure the kill onto the pesky Hoodwink.
Let's have to TP... They TP another hero down towards the bottom side here on Tigger. Always trying to catch out. Look at this.
Oh my, Tigger, beautifully done. Now the TPs are starting to rain in. They did cancel a couple of them. They're going to buy back and take the fight top, but still Jay is in trouble with the Serpent Wands and the damage. They've got so much control from Tigger. He's got shackles again. Back to top we go as Boom Booey. Oh my, the Overgrowth onto 4, giving Motivate the opportunity just to get out of the area. That was beautiful.
It's a lot used though, right? Overgrowth was used, Stone Gaze was used, Mass Serpent Wards was used. I think the only opportunity that MY is going to have to get back into this game, play around Roshan, because it's respawned, you've got Tiny coming up in 30 seconds, so you still have about a 30 or so second window where you can look to take it down. Or at least get a gank and set up for it. Let's have a look at what the buyback status is for Motivate.Trust right now. Like, imagine if they took out the Medusa. No buyback. And it means that obviously you're getting a ton of net worth over. You're going to get that surprise factor. But they kind of know that there's attempts potentially happening on Toy's life with no one taking that bottom lane of farm. They're all just looking to group up around Toy. Make sure that they're the ones that get initiated on. Masteros, very tanky, 2,700 HP. He's got the BKB for himself, and yeah, this just feels like another time where MY unfortunately just aren't really doing anything with the mini timings that they have.
I think a big issue is how Motivate keeps shoving out these lanes perfectly. Bottom shoved in, mid shoved in, Raiden can't do anything. If you do something, it's obvious if you're making a play, and that's why Jay was forced to go defend bottom. But again, lanes give you information. It's something that... Just hold that thought, because Motivate, they are smoked as 5.
I mean, yeah, why not? They waited the 30 or so seconds that they had. The window is gone, and now they move forward with the Stone Gaze. You've got Mass Serpent Wards back up in 15.
Tigger jumps. Some
Overgrowth is available again.
Stroke. And it looks like that's all they'll lose.
But I mean, you've got high ground control. Roshan is up. Second Rosh as well. You've got a regen rune, of course.
They see
Warning for
Sari.
Gacha Boy.
See Sari.
Dire's top tower is under
There's
attack.
shamans. Oh, they even dropped the ward as well, so they're going to see him transition to the north. Just throw a spear. No. Okay.
But, I mean, Rosh is still going to die. It's the second one. This is what you play around with every single Medusa draft if everything goes your way. And as of right now, looks like it has. Went for the extra Stone Gaze duration as well, just to make sure that there's less and less time that this Tiny is actually able to do anything in these team fights. And even though you've got the Storm Spirit, you still are wanting to give this Aegis over to Toy. He just needs to be the one that stands there on the front lines, takes all of the objectives for you.
Oh, they smoked his Radiant. So they actually want to take the fight. So Mastros is split for the team. Be a bit of jump. They won't have any extra support, so Mastros is going to be killed off with ease. The rest of Motivate starting to trail to the area, but they will be too late to catch out MY and get some revenge.
Didn't even end up using too much other than the sharpshooter there, so they could still look to re-engage if they wanted to. Maybe even putting BB out here as a bit of a bait, but well, with Jay revealing his position with the Avalanche, not going to be the case. Walking back to where they've got the vision, not wanting to take a 4v5 fight
They see
if they can
BB.
afford it.
They see BB, so Toy's just going to use the Stone Gaze early. BB's in trouble
very
once again.
key.
The rest of the team is slow to connect. Sarah's going to fly over the tree line. It's
Nice
a beautiful
done.
ink spell from Sarah, but Gacha Boy. BKB's out. He's okay. And now all eyes on Toy and how he can turn this around. The Deuce's damage starting to stack up. A couple more right clicks is enough to kill off BB. He's not even dead just yet. BB turns with a hell, but a disaster of a fight for Motivate. They just weren't able to lock the heroes down in the end. Gacha Boy is killed off along with the life of Tigger, but I mean, that's a huge victory for MY.
Bottom tower is under
How
attack.
long was left on Masaros's death timer? Because he bought back. I swear it would have only been about 10 or so seconds.
Oh no, yeah, it would have been. I didn't even know he bought back. It must have only been like. Yeah,
You had
wow.
nowhere to TP to.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
Oh. Awkward. Awkward stuff. I'm surprised BB survived, to be honest, especially with the Skadi just reducing all his health pool, but
Albert's pretty good.
it's pretty good on the Dragon Knight. You still have Aegis for 3 minutes here, so Motivate. They got Arena, they have Serpent Wards, and Stonegaze and Overgrowth are back up shortly as well, so they will be able to take another team fight. Where is that location they want to fight, though? Is there anywhere best suited for them at the moment?
On Motivate?
Yes.
Honestly, I would still say top, right? Like, you've got the vision there. It's the only outer
Radiant's
tower
bottom
remaining.
tower is under attack.
You've got 2.5 minutes left. Like, it seems like he just wants to be able to build into this MKB on Toy. Not sure why exactly. I mean, that maybe just the
Dire's
evasion
top
there
tower
on the
is under
the Dragon
attack.
Knight was enough for him to say, you know, screw
Radiant's
this.
bottom
I don't want
tower
another
is
similar
under
sort of
attack.
situation happening again. Although, when you're just walking around underneath an observer
Tigger.
ward, that's a prime opportunity to take a good team fight.
Look at this. They've run into the Grimstroke and simultaneously Mastros. Mastros has gone into the other support, so 2 for 0, quick and easy Motivate. They use a couple ultimates, Serpent Wards along with the Arena. They even picked up their own gem, so they're kind of sick and tired of being pulled across the map without getting much out of it.
Tower is under attack.
Top lane Jay can always just BKB, TP, and he will do just that. But meanwhile, BB, he's the one that's caught out. And the Dragon Knight, well, he doesn't have this capability. Nothing like the Tiny can, so BB will be penalized for this as Motivate from their own jungle to Radiant's jungle get another kill.
Levels the Shaman. Only level 14. Thinking maybe once he gets to that level 20 with Hex breaking, it's a nice way to guarantee that you don't necessarily need the Silver Edge to be able to get it onto the Dragon Knight and really cut through him. But this is just
Radiant's middle
Medusa
tower
second
is under
Aegis
attack.
things, right? Put
Radiant
yourself up onto the
structures
high
are
ground.
fortified.
How do you kill him? How do you kill him 5v1, let alone
Dire's
3v1?
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's also giving time just for the ultimates to come back up. By the time MY gets it up, you'll have Arena.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
It's got to be a toss under a tier 4 tower, but I don't think Toy will care.
ended up giving the
Radiant's middle
they gave
barracks
the Aghanim
has fallen.
shard over to the Shadow Shaman actually.
Radiant's
okay.
top tower is under attack.
I was
Extra
even
shackle duration, always nice.
I was even questioning if the Storm might take it. They just double smoked on MY.
Radiant are
Skank
scanning.
gets confirmation. BB charging. Look at Tigger acting as the ward. But Toy's just going to stand his ground. But the BKB from Master will prevent any escape avenue. So BB is stuck in the choke point as Dusa is just ripping them apart. They don't have answers to Toy at this stage of the game with how farmed the Medusa is. Like Archer Boy, he's even got to think about jumping on the high ground. Will instantly regret that, but as long as he gets the ultimate off, maybe the rest of Dire can follow suit. Multiple buybacks though. They'll give some respect out to this and will master us. Well, he will be the one that's fed to the wolves.
It's his dieback, so gives them a little bit of a window to make a play happen, especially when you just used your own buybacks on MY. No Aegis remaining. Able to keep a tier 2 available on the top side as well. So, yeah, just look at all the lines being drawn out, and double smoke is going to come back to bite them because they're just going to need to run out in complete vision.
Dude, are you watching this Tiny?
Just flailing around.
Yes, what's going on? What's
He's
going
having a bad
on?
day, okay?
Why does it look like he's walking slower as well? It actually seems like he's all in slow motion.
Tower is under
It's a
attack.
front moonwalk.
Oh yes, it's a new
It's
thing.
the newest TikTok trend.
Ah yes.
Do you want me to do it?
Yes, please. You can do it when
No.
we go cam.
Okay, okay.
Give everyone
Wait,
a little
no.
bit of show. Come on, the viewers will love it. You'll instantly.
I have no rhythm.
No. You do. You'll instantly gain thousands of followers and land gigs.
Can I be a micro influencer?
I'll take your tribute.
You can be a major influencer. I believe in you. Come
Oh.
on.
Alright, well, we got the MKB on the Medusa. Very nice. They have 2 halberds? Yeah, they do on the Sand King as well as the DK. So, very effective tool at being able to cut through those. Also, the Scurry
Oh,
on
zip.
the
They've
Hoodwink.
run into BB. Oh, again, the Dragon Knight. 7 deaths and a couple too many where he's just been away from the team or jumping without them following suit. And he doesn't have a buyback. So maybe Motivate thinking about getting this full set of barracks mid, but they don't have creeps.
Hasn't been the flashiest stat line for Tigger, but you would almost have to say that he's been the
Dire's
MVP of
top
this game,
tower
right?
is
Multiple
under
times
attack.
catching out heroes, just playing inside the trees, baiting out, wanting them to be able to farm in a lot of these unsafe areas because of how
Radiant's
good
middle
Motivate.Trust have
barracks are
been
under
at shoving
attack.
out these lanes.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think
Toy incredibly close to his level 25 as well.
they're going to jump before they get set up, it looks like. Let's see how tanky Toy truly is. It's got the MKB freshly completed as well. It's a lot of damage at the start. The man is gone, but the overgrowth is stopping the Tiny from being able to right-click. It doesn't matter, though. The Deucer protected from the arena. Toy's able to escape, and the damage, it's been done. No one dying on Motivate. That might be the sign to
Tigger
call
again.
it quits as Tigger will run into Stylus in the tree line. No one died on Motivate. That is crazy.
He's thinking about going for BB. So they have vision of him right now. He just walked out underneath the Radiant vision, considering it's daytime. Yeah, look at the pings. Tigger's
And they've-
saying, as
yeah,
soon as
they
this
call
guy
it.
reveals,
Yep.
Has fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks.
All right.
a little bit of the style points as well. Just the long shackle into the GG. And,
Chads.
well, the Chads did it.
The alphas.
The Alphas. Just, they got to let the little brother know, just like you and I sometimes, that I'm the one in charge. But
Put him in
Motivate
place.
Trust, they're going to be moving onwards, and unfortunately for MY, they're dropping out of these phase 1 of this, and I'm sure they wish they put together a few better performances because I feel like both of their drafts had the capability to really put Motivate on the back foot. They just never seem to have the confidence to really go all in and try and make that happen.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for MY as well because this was a team that we've had the opportunity to cast a lot through third-party tournaments, and this is a big one leading up to the third tour, which is something that they're still looking to qualify, of course, for Division 2. They made it to 2 grand finals in Spring 2. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize on those opportunities. And now you would love a long group stage and potentially into playoffs where you could grow as a team, face some tougher opponents in official scrims and be able to go from there. But unfortunately for NY, their road will be cut short as Motivate will move on slightly, though. They still have one more series to play until they will be able to potentially qualify. But Danog, what's going on? I think it's 8 series we've had, and 7 of those 8 series have been 2-0s. I don't know what's going on right now.
The Chads separating
The
themselves
Chads.
from the rest, that's all that's happening. Yeah, like you're saying, group stage. I'd say the group stage is important, but not necessarily as important as the playoffs, because from my understanding, playoffs start on the 26th of May, something like that, and that's basically right after the major finishes. So you would assume that's when the patch could potentially drop in preparation for the next DPC season. So you really want to be amongst it. Remember, there are going to be 9 teams in the group stage, in phase 2, and 8 move on to the group stage. It determines upper and lower brackets, your seedings during the group stage. But I mean, to be part of that in an official that doesn't really matter for TI, but people are still going to take it seriously, it's pretty damn important. So I'm sure Motivate.Trust are going to be very happy with securing this win. But like you said, their journey to be able to be in phase 2 is not over. We've got a couple of series going on tomorrow.
Yep, job's not done, at least for these teams. We have the lower bracket finals. Tomorrow, we're going to be kicking it off with UDV up against Patriots. If anyone's not aware, Patriots are ex-Apes. And then we will have another lower bracket final on the other side, Yangon Galacticos taking on Motivate.Trust. So
A rematch.
the rematch. We saw Yangon, they were able to 2-0 Motivate. So I'm sure the lads from Thai want a little bit of revenge, but we are 4 out of 5 days. Tomorrow will be the last day of phase 1, the closed qualifiers, with 2 slots remaining. We'll see who will be able to take that for. Anyone that is wanting to watch Eastern Europe DPC as well, that's going to be kicking off much later tonight. I think that's actually starting in like 5 hours, so not a little bit after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only 2 series tonight.
So it's starting later as
Yes.
opposed to starting at the same time.
Yes, if I'm pretty sure. So, I imagine we'll have the reruns up for a little bit.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's gonna be
That
exciting.
stream will be live in about 4.5 hours, I would guess.
Yeah, something like that. So for Danog and I, we are both done for tonight. We're gonna be back same time, 1 p.m. Singapore for the last day of phase 1. We'll see you guys then.